Hi! After all this time, I feel a little more qualified to talk about my experience with Powerslide Arise Marathon skates. On that day, I was on my very first test skate and tried to share my first impressions. I've mounted my used G 13 wheels and kept all the labels and price tags in place, just in case I wouldn't be convinced and had to return the skates. First of all, I was surprised at how different they felt while rolling compared to when I was just standing in them for the first time. As soon as I started rolling, none of the things that had bothered me back then mattered anymore, like their hardness and stiffness, their thin padding, the stitched seam in the middle of the sole area. Why had it all become irrelevant? To be honest, to this day I have no idea. Maybe the speed and power transfer was just too overwhelming and drew all my attention away from the comfort aspects. The carbon boot shell turns them into sort of an outside skeleton. It makes you feel like a crab that's just wearing them as part of its own body, well supported without any needless extra weight, with plenty of loss-free power transfer directly from all your muscles involved. Even the hits from pebbles are transferred directly to your bones. That's a little downside if you skate dirty roads like I do frequently. As expected, the built-in angle in the ankle area of the boots does force you to stay low. This increases your leverage for acceleration quite notably. Both the core stability required for that higher speed and the low body position makes skating them a more intense workout than what I'm used to. At least now I can keep up with a sporty cyclist for a while, and with a little training maybe even longer. The power transfer is just a whole different league. I never thought I'd enjoy anything so closely related to an actual speed skate, which I'd never even considered for myself. My primary goal has never been speed, but effortless gliding. But you can do both extremely well with the Arise Marathon. Not entirely effortless, as I said, but hey, for this much fun, I'll happily burn a few extra calories. So the whole skate ordering thing turned out to be a success. I'd say I've found my new pair of skates. I did get some blisters on the outsides of my heels from this very first trip, but heat molding, adjusting the lacing and my push technique did the job. I no longer slip out with my heels now, and there's no more rubbing going on. There is a fine line between optimal power transfer and a comfortable padding though. If the minimalistic padding is too hard, you can still add more layers with the help of socks. Don't hesitate to try out different thicknesses or even heat mold the boots a second or even third time. It's totally worth the effort. Up until now, I've skated the Arise in different conditions like heat, yeah, it's been a while, but also in the rain with the MPC rain wheels. It's turned out that they won't ever be my first choice for rainy and muddy weather. The need for gaiters to protect the wide upper wasn't even the main problem. They're just anything but waterproof, unless you maybe cover the screw holes in the sole area with sticky tape. Speaking of moisture and dirt, I finally managed to get the nasty smell out of my hardcore Evo padding with the help of baking soda, freshly ground coffee and 2 buckets of warm water with plenty of washing powder. To avoid additional damage to the padding, I'm now using a shoehorn to slip into my old boots. That's my good news number 2. Now I have 2 pairs of skates, both rather unique. Selecting my preferred setup of the day has become so easy. It doesn't take an extra 30 minutes for removing the frames and the wheels and then mounting and adjusting everything. I just grab the respective skates with everything already in place. Currently, during this cold and rainy springtime, I'm constantly skating the more waterproof Evo boots again, but with the stiff and sturdy frames from the Arise setup. That's good news number 3. Now I can combine different parts and have more options. But I'm also looking forward to warm and dry days in the lightweight Arise boots. If you want to know anything I haven't talked about, just leave me a comment and I'll try to answer it to the best of my knowledge. Until next time, and happy skating everyone!